Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network. Welcome to Gun Sports Radio, all about shooting, hunting, self-defense, and more. Now, here are the hosts of Gun Sports Radio, Dave Stahl and Lance Pelkey.
All right, folks. Hey, welcome back, Gun Sports Radio, show 92, if you can believe that. Right here on AM 1170, The Answer. Also, want to thank, glad to get Lance back all the way from lovely Italy.
Italy, baby, Italy. It was wonderful.
Even brought a cold with him and everything.
Yeah, but I feel great. I'm all fired up on our Second Amendment stuff. Great show today.
Absolutely. We also got Michael Schwartz in the house, San Diego County gun owners. How you doing, bud?
Fantastic. Nice to have you back, Lance.
Great job on the gun prom. I just have to bring that up one more time.
Thank you. You were a big part of it, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we just had fun with it, didn't we? Hey, who's our special guest today?
Very special guest, a good friend of mine, was also a sponsor at Gun Prom, and was so kind as to introduce me before I gave my little talk. Santee City Councilman and candidate for State Senator, Mr. Brian Jones.
Hey, Brian, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, guys. Great. How are you doing?
So what fundraiser are you at today?
Actually, you guys are missing it. I'm actually in my driveway having an open house at my house for people to come pick up yard signs.
Oh, nice! That's awesome. And I'm gonna.
No, I'm not going to give my address out over the phone.
No.
We proudly have one up in our lawn, and I can't wait to vote for it.
I don't know how that got there yesterday, Michael, around 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I wonder. Just magically appeared. So, thank you so much for being a table sponsor at Gun Prom. What did you think?
I don't know why I was way in the back, though. Do I embarrass you? The people at my table were could have been embarrassing. I'm not sure, but yeah, you hit us in the back for some reason.
Put you in the back because I know you guys like to spread out, get loud, and party. So I thought, all right, these guys.
Actually, we had a great time. I really liked that venue. Compared, because there was plenty of room to move around. I think it kind of fits the theme of Gun Prom better than some of the fancier places we've been. So I liked it. I thought it was great. I had fun in getting to introduce you. So,
well, you've been at every single Second Amendment celebration dinner since we started doing this, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate the support, Brian.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's the right thing to do.
So one thing I wanted to talk to you about, you're currently on the Santee City Council, and again, running for state senator, which puts you in a position very, very qualified to talk about the gun show in Del Mar and how the city council in Del Mar is trying to force the agricultural board to get rid of the gun show, and why that makes you uniquely qualified to talk about is that state senators have a lot to say as far as appointing the people on the agricultural boards. And as a city council member for Santee, there's another city council, Del Mar, that's trying to take a regional asset and dictate who does and doesn't get to be there. And as someone that represents another city, I just wanted to get your take on that whole thing and see what you thought about it.
Well, I think obviously the Del Mar City Council is completely operating outside of their authority. Now, look, if they have concerns, if they have legitimate safety concerns about an event that's going on there, or impacts on their community, I could see them having an opinion, but they don't have the ability or the right to go in there and just arbitrarily shut something down that they don't like just because it doesn't fit their political scheme. So, it'd be like being on the Santee City Council. We've got the Santee School District is obviously operating schools in our area. We've got Grossmont Cuyamaca College right on our border. It would be us telling Grossmont that they can't have whatever event that they wanted to have at the college and trying to shut it down, which it would be completely ridiculous.
Well, it really is. I really think they're way overstepping their bounds. What do you anticipate? How do you see this going? Do you think the agricultural board will respond, or what do you think the best course of action is for people that want to make sure that the gun show stays in Del Mar?
Well, it's the council can certainly influence the board members. I know, I think one or two of the board members personally. I don't know all of them. How many board members are there?
On the agricultural board?
Right.
There are 9 of them.
And they're all appointed by, are they all appointed by the governor, or some of them get there other ways?
All appointed.
So every one of those folks that have been appointed go through a confirmation hearing in the Senate. So that, they've all been vetted by our state senators. Unfortunately, the majority of our state senators agree with the governor, and the governor's probably only going to appoint people to that board that agree with him on these political and social issues. So, a couple of avenues that we have, obviously, is to meet with each board member and make the case. Trying to talk to the governor certainly wouldn't be inappropriate. I mean, they're all his appointees.
Right.
So talking to him and having him, get involved, I don't know. I doubt this is something he would be active on, but it doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah. Now, and you're running for state senator.
Right.
And this is not going to be your first time up in Sacramento. You were an assemblyman for years. Can you talk a little bit about what makes you want to go back to Sacramento?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's probably the number one question. But one more thing, Michael, before I segue to that, regarding the question of what can we do, I was a little bit kind of like, regarding the agricultural board, that's at the elected officials level, right, is engaging the governor and speaking with the board members one-on-one. But that email you sent out the other day asking for your members to get involved and start writing letters and engaging with the board at the personal level regarding their constituents. So all of us in San Diego County, every single citizen of San Diego County is a constituent of that agricultural board.
Right.
And so all of us have the right and the responsibility to be contacting our appointed officials and letting them know that we want to keep the gun show there and other Second Amendment activities such as gun prom, and that they've got no legitimate reason to be closing those down. So that email you sent out, you need to activate those ideas that you communicated in that email. I think
in what for those listening, to give a little bit of detail is San Diego County Gun Owners is fully embracing this as a project over the summer, because in September the Agricultural Board is going to meet and talk about whether or not they want to renew the contract, and so San Diego County Gun Owners is going to spend a whole lot of time doing everything we can to make sure that our voices, our Second Amendment voices in San Diego County, are heard, and that we make sure that they can renew that contract for the gun show, because 5 times a year it's profitable for the state. It's an asset, a regional asset that belongs to all of us, every taxpayer, and we're tired of being villainized just for executing our civil rights. So we're definitely going to get involved. Our members are going to be involved. We will be heard. You're going to see us in the media. You're going to see us at the gun show. We're going to write letters and all that good stuff. And I can't tell you how important it is to vote for guys like Brian, so that we have some people that protect our rights up in Sacramento.
We need to get that, get the members going, build the membership, and I think you've got a good game plan to get started right away at the beginning of summer and make this a summer-long project. And we need people to be vocal about this. This is important, and this is an opportunity for gun rights advocates in San Diego. Whether you own a gun or not, you can be a gun rights advocate. You don't have to own a gun to be a gun rights advocate. Engage this board. Otherwise, they'll make the decision in a vacuum, thinking that they can get away with it. Well, we need to let them know that they can't get away with it.
Yep.
They're accountable to us, even though they're appointed by the governor.
Well, that's the way it should be.
Absolutely.
Right. So going back to Sacramento, the number one question I get is, why do you want to go back to Sacramento? Because let's face it, that place can beat you down and wear you down. But, for some reason, God just made me crazy, I think, or something, to want to go back. But there's 3 legitimate reasons that I am excited about going back. Number one, I truly believe that the Democratic leadership in Sacramento has lost its mind. Now, I'll put that in more politically correct terms.
I like that.
One of the things I'm trying to really do in the district and in the San Diego area is really define the difference between the Democrats that we love, that live next door to us, our neighbors, our family members, our in-laws, our outlaws, the people we work with. You know, we all have Democrats that we associate with and are close to. They're coming to the point where they recognize that there's a difference between what they stand for and what the Democratic leadership in Sacramento is promoting. And I almost am hesitant to call the leadership in Sacramento Democratic, because I think it's insulting to our Democrat friends and family members down here in the district.
I agree.
So they're not Democrats anymore. They're not even liberals. They're leftists. And I'm talking about the leadership in Sacramento, and the leadership that comes out of the L.A. area and the leadership that comes out of the Bay Area. They've taken the Democratic Party in California, and I don't even know if you can call it left. It's not really on the political spectrum. They're not even on the spectrum. They're just
extreme.
Wacky.
It's just extreme,
And here's the evidence of that.
Well, Brian, we got to actually go to a break. How can people find you? What's your website?
You can stick around.
ElectBrianJones.com.
Hey, you want to hang around for a break, and we'll finish up, and then when we come back, can you stick with us a little bit?
If you got time, I can stick around for a little bit.
Great, because you don't want me to give out your home address.
No.
You better stay. Right here on AM 1170 Gun Sports Radio. Stay tuned, folks. Brian's got a lot more to say. Folks, hey, welcome back. You're listening to Gun Sports Radio right here on AM 1170. We are The Answer. I'm Dave. He's Lance. And this segment is brought to you by the good folks at Trident Gunsmithing. You need to get your gun worked on? Well, Trident Gunsmithing is the place to be. Go to TridentGunsmithing.com, TridentGunsmithing.com. All right, you got your guest still on the line?
Yeah, Brian. So you were talking about the reason.
Oh, yeah. Man, you guys caught me in half breath, man. I was only on point number one. I still got 3 points to go.
That's why we brought you back. We know how you are.
2 points to go. So the evidence. So number one, the three reasons to go back. Number one is the Democratic leadership have left their base behind, which I think is going to give us as Republicans and problem-solving Republicans and problem-solving Democrats, which there are some, an opportunity to win over these votes from, I'm going to call them disenfranchised Democratic voters in there. And here's the evidence. Dianne Feinstein, no matter what we think of her, and she's a decent human being, is one of the most respected U.S. senators in the country, if not the world. One of the most powerful committee members in D.C., as far as having the history there, the negotiating chops with when she's in the minority, she's able to negotiate stuff with the majority and vice versa. And the Democratic Party has gone so far off the rails this year that at their convention here in San Diego a couple of weeks ago, they don't even endorse her for U.S. Senate.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
how crazy is that?
She's too middle of the road for them. Yep. Dianne Feinstein is too middle of the road.
She's too reasonable. She's too reasonable for the Democrats in charge that they can't even. And not only did she not get it, you have to get 60% of the delegates vote to get the endorsement. Her opponent got 57%. So not only did she not get it, she almost lost it altogether.
Well, one thing, and you were just saying how, she's a fine person, Dianne Feinstein. And I know that makes a lot of people go, whoa, how can you say that about it? But I got to tell you, I've known Brian a long time. Brian, you and I have known each other over a decade. And I think more so than anybody I know, you stick to your principles like glue, but still have a unique and admirable ability to talk to people you disagree with and talk to people that are serving on the other side of the aisle, and have an intelligent conversation that can be very influential And I think it's something we need more of, not just from Republicans, but from everybody that serves in public
Absolutely.
office.
Yeah, no, that's 100% right. And right now, the media is doing its best to divide America among ideological lines, which America's never been divided on ideological lines. So, this is all a fabrication of the media. Even within, getting Democrats against Democrats, Bernie-crats versus Hillary-crats, Republicans, pro-Trumpers and never-Trumpers. This is all a fabrication of the media to keep us divided, and we just got to rise above it. So the second reason to go back is in the Senate, we're going to break the supermajority. There's a recall in Orange County that you guys are familiar with and have helped with, I think. Josh Newman was a Democrat in 2016, ran as a centrist, pro-business, anti-taxing Democrat, promised to go up there and be, moderate. And the very first thing he did was vote for the gas tax against the wishes of his district. So he's being recalled. We think that is going to win on June 5th, and we're going to get a Republican in there to replace him the next day.
So let's have a little bit of a hard conversation over that, since you brought it up. The leading Republican that people are supporting is the one that was beat last time, and that's Ling Chang. Is that accurate?
Right.
Ling Chang is a Republican, and I'm sure agrees with Republicans on most things, but she has also had some horrible Second Amendment votes. She's actually returned money that I think NRA members sent to her to support her, and really came out hard against some Second Amendment issues when she was in office. What do you tell gun? Like, why would we get fired up about that, or what do we do in that situation?
Well, I don't know. The organization needs to officially give an endorsement. I can tell you that she's with us a heck of a lot more times than Josh Newman's ever going to be with us. Josh Newman's never going to be with us, and he's always going to work against us. Ling's not going to work against us. And back to your previous point, that goes to my powers of persuasion in sitting down with her and working with her and you guys and walking her through some of these issues that she truly and honestly doesn't understand. And the good news is she's open-minded and she does. She and I have a great relationship, and she's somebody I can work with, and I think I can bring her around on some of those issues.
Okay. I hope so. I hope so.
Me too. But the bottom line is, Michael, and I understand your concern. I mean, Josh Newman is never, ever going to vote with us. Ever. Not one time. Ever. And he's going to carry legislation detrimental to the Second Amendment. He'll be happy to do it. Because he's under that spell. He's under that Sacramento leftist spell.
Anti-gun,
yeah. So that's number two. Number three.
Well, and I tell people, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I do tell people a lot, like, hey, if it's frustrating that you have to pick someone who's always against us, or you have to have a choice between someone that's always against us and someone that is just sometimes against us, it means we're not organized enough. It means we're not involved enough. And the solution is, hey, let's get more people involved, get them off the sidelines, and
And we'll get her involved with the Orange County group. She's a very personable person. She loves coming to events and meeting new people. We'll get her out to one of your things up there, and get her exposed to the great, common sense, problem solving people that belong to the Second Amendment community in Orange County.
Good. Okay. And your third point.
And the third thing, and this is the most exciting thing for all of us in California, is the Janus versus AFSCME case in the U.S. Supreme Court out of Illinois. Guys, this is going to be a tectonic shift in politics, not just in California, but Illinois and New York and every liberal state that's under the dictatorship of the government unions. So what this case does, and we had a case 2 years ago out of California that was split the Supreme Court 4-4. So that's when there was a vacancy. Now that Neil Gorsuch is on the Supreme Court, and this is the best thing Trump's ever done, next to denuclearizing North Korea.
Wow.
That was for a little chuckle. That was for a little chuckle.
You got it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. If Donald Trump never does anything ever positive again in his presidency, putting Neil Gorsuch on the Supreme Court is a generational shift in politics on the spectrum in California. When this case,
100% agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. When this case is rendered, it should become down 5-4 or 6-3 in favor of union government workers being able to keep their money and not have to pay the union to keep their jobs. You know how huge this is in California?
Huge.
SEIU alone has 700,000 members in California. At each member, $90 a month.
Jeez.
Wow.
That's $16 million a month. With $16 million a month that the SEIU has to spend on political activity in California. That doesn't include Teachers Association. That doesn't include ASME. Doesn't include CCPOA, the correctional officers, which are actually, they do pretty decent work. It doesn't include UDW, United Domestic Workers. All these unions that extract anywhere from $45 to $90 a month from their members and then put that right into political action. That's what's destroying California right now.
I agree.
And once that money dries up in the next 2 to 4 years, that gives people like me and organizations like you a fair chance. It doesn't give us an advantage. It just makes the playing field fair. And now we have an opportunity to make our argument and present our story, and they have to do the same thing. But it's the playing field is fair at that point in time.
Haven't you left yet?
Left what?
Go to Sacramento. Get off your butt. Come on, get out of here. I'm done talking to you. Get up there and fix this stupid state.
I'll be up there December 2nd getting sworn in.
I like it.
God, I'm right here with you, buddy.
You got my vote.
Nobody needs Sacramento more than we need you to be in Sacramento.
Well, I need people to go online to electbrianjones.com, sign up to get a yard sign.
Right.
We'll get it to you. And, kick me down a couple bucks so I can keep helping San Diego County gun owners and other organizations that are fighting to keep our freedoms here in California.
And, folks, don't be complacent. Don't think that everything is rosy. You need to vote. You need to vote. You need to vote.
And we need to activate.
That, too. All of it.
All right.
All right, buddy. Hey, thanks for calling in.
Guys.
Thank you, Brian.
All right.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, we're going to take a small break. We come back. There's a whole lot more right here on Gun Sports Radio. AM 1170, The Answer. All right, folks. Hey, welcome back. You're listening to Gun Sports Radio right here on AM 1170. Hey, this segment is brought to you by Guns Range San Diego, the Nordstroms of gun ranges. If you've not been over there, boy, I tell you, you have totally missed out. Gun Range San Diego is family-owned and operated, 10 to 10, 7 days a week. And like I said, it's the Nordstroms of gun ranges. It's just not the price. So, we have got Jason on the line.
We got Jason on the line.
Hey, Jason, all the way from Gun Range San Diego. How you doing, bud?
I'm all right, Dave. How you doing?
I'm not doing too bad. Are you at the shop or are you home?
I am. Actually, I'm right here in the office.
Sounds kind of quiet.
He lives there.
Well, he closed the door. I'm sure it's just screaming at the counter. Right?
There's a little army cot under the desk, so.
Very good.
How's it at the range? You guys packed there as well, or what's going on?
Yeah, it looks like a sardine. It's like a sardine can in here right now. We're pretty full in the range. There's a little bit of a wait. Sales.
Yeah. Well, the weekends are busy, but a good time to come is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Monday we get the free rentals. All the $10 rentals are absolutely free on Monday. Tuesday, $5 a shoot after 5 o'clock. Great for couples.
And then like to remind people that Mondays with that free rental deal gives you a chance to try out different things that'll fit your hand. Because the mistake a lot of people do is go, "Oh, dude, I want to go buy a gun." They go buy a Taurus or something, never shot the thing, and find out that, I shouldn't have done that. When they can go down to the Gun Range San Diego on Mondays and get a free rental and
it's no different than going down and driving a car.
Right, test drive.
Yeah, do a test drive of
That's absolutely right.
Yeah, man, that's really, really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey,
plenty of people,
I got to hand it to you. So, Veronica hooked me up big time.
Oh yeah,
did you? Yeah, and I appreciate your help on that.
Justin came out there, put that in himself personally.
Veronica did.
Yeah,
absolutely. So Jason, that Browning safe is freaking crazy, man.
Yeah, but don't they need to turn it around so you can open the door?
Yeah. Hey, come on. It opens great. It's gorgeous. And
did you sleep in it last night?
And it holds a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm repatriating because I moved.
Yeah.
So
did you find everything?
Trident still has one of the sisters, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
But now I'm repatriating all my.
Wait a minute. Do you have to fill it up more?
I might have to get another safe.
It's
one of those deals.
I can help you with that.
Yeah. Sure. So anyway, I wanted to thank you because I know you coordinated, the arranging of having it come down and all that stuff, and so.
Let's ask Jason a question. Jason, just out of curiosity, because you guys could have picked any safe company you wanted to carry. Why did you guys pick Browning?
Browning's got a very long history of great service in the United States with both firearms and safes. They have pretty good customer service. They great customized selection of safes. They're great. The price point's right. And they're very tough, and they're gorgeous, as you know now. Yeah,
and plus, the one I have, it's got all these doodads in there to hang this and that and all this other, technical stuff. Whatever, it's gorgeous. But the other thing that sets Browning apart, my understanding from other safes, is a lot of times if you want to break into one of those big Mambo safes, just get your Dremel and drill on the and Dremel the side of the safe. That's how you get in. They just it's like pot metal or something. And next thing you know, you're in the safe. Don't go through the door. Browning's like majorly thick. Yeah. That just ain't going to happen on a Browning.
Mess around.
Yeah, so the price point is really
Browning
good.
Doesn't mess around with the quality.
I think under $1,500, and you've got mine is it's 525 pounds. It's 5 foot something tall, 32 inches deep. It's good size little thing for for that price point.
Sure.
And it's bolted in, man. So it's
so you guys do bolt. You guys do bolt them to the ground?
They work with a local service of people, right, Jason? You got the local service guy that'll come for like $150, $200, and yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, so Jason coordinated, getting the safe to come on the truck or whatever, to my house, and then from there they help coordinate a local guy. He's like I said, $150, $200 for him to actually take it off the pallet. That's got to be a Mambo job, right? If you're not doing.
You need a specialized. Yeah, they need that service.
Yeah,
you got to use that service because you don't want to mess around with that kind of thing.
Right, you get it moved in the right area and then secured and all that other stuff. So,
like I said, you make sure the door is pointing out.
Yeah,
because you'd have put it in the other way.
Oh God, that's the thing. And you know how it is. So as a service manager, Dave, you appreciate that. People try to do stuff themselves, and then they learn after they totally screwed up. Let the expert do it. So Jason, it just came out wonderful, man.
So Jason,
great. I'm glad
on the Browning, because there's a lot of other safes out there that are a lot less expensive, and I think Lance hit right on it. You can take a Dremel tool and cut through the sides of some of them.
Yep.
What are some of the other outstanding features of the Browning that stands out to you?
You know what I appreciate most about it is how customizable you can get your safe to be.
Yeah,
we actually had a gentleman, a doctor, a prominent doctor here in San Diego, about 4 giant safes. Each of these safes hold about 40, 45 guns.
That's giant.
4 of them. He wanted, right-hand hinges on a couple, left-hand hinges on another couple. He wanted them to open, open outward, like a butterfly, they call it. And everything was just perfect. Everything was just right. He had a different scene, a setting, a deer on one, an elk on another on certain safes. And it just came out so well. Wow. It's the customization that makes it appealing to me.
Mine's a blacked out American flag.
Blacked out American
flag.
Yeah,
it looks really cool. It's a flat black deal.
That's a good, solid one.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And also, too, you guys have what they call under the bed safes. So, Dave, have you seen these deals? So it'll hold shotguns and all kinds of stuff like that. But it's weighs about 40 pounds and goes under your bed. You can bolt it down to the floor, whatever. You could actually, stick it up someplace else if you want to.
Really?
It's called under the bed safe. As well as they have these little wall safes for like, a couple $100 that fit between the studs. You put it in your closet. Sure. So I just recommend everybody, if you don't have a safe, get one. And if you have,
and even if you don't have guns,
you need a safe,
your personal papers.
Everybody uses a safe.
Right.
Yeah, everybody can use a safe.
Everybody's got documents. Everybody's got a social security card, a passport to keep somewhere.
Right. Take that off the back burner and put it on the front burner.
So from a car guy point of view, what kind of warranty? What kind of warranty does Browning carry on their units?
Browning guarantees all their work. It depends on the safe, but everything they do is guaranteed. If you're not happy with something, you call them, let them know, and they'll try to make it right.
So there's no 90-day warranty or anything like that?
I don't believe there's anything like that.
I don't think so either. I already knew the answer.
Well, what ends up happening is Jason ends up, calling more.
Right. One of the things that people in San Diego are particularly concerned about is fire. Can you talk a little bit about, are safes truly fireproof, or what determines that? Or can you just talk a little bit about that?
And are there different levels of fireproofing?
So that's right. So some safes, God forbid, hopefully this doesn't happen. Some of your house catches on fire. I've had it happen to a couple customers over the years where, their house burned down. One poor guy lost his whole house, but his guns were okay. He had a really, really solid old school safe. I think it was a Browning. And safes have a different fire rating. Now, they're not fireproof. They're fire resistant. Basically, they can keep the heat from damaging the things inside, for a certain amount of time. Browning's definitely got one of the better fire rated safes out there.
Yeah. Well,
as far as the selection goes,
and I'm sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. You got your Costco safe. Costco safe's great. There's nothing wrong with it. It's got a good price and everything. That safe catches on fire. And stuff inside's done very quickly. These Browning safes, some of these safes have fire safe ratings of 45 minutes, 30 minutes, which is a long time considering how sensitive some of the mechanisms in firearms are. It only takes 5-10 minutes of too much heat to irreparably damage something like an AR-15. Intricate workings of a nicer pistol. So it really is worth that fire rating.
Yeah, melt your Glock, right?
Oh,
yeah, your MP shield.
It is something I consider a lot because some of the firearms I own, like if my Glock melts, who cares? You can go out and buy a new Glock. But I have some heirlooms, some legitimate family heirlooms as far as firearms go, and you lose that. Right. That's it. It's history. It's history.
Right.
It's
you can't put a price on that.
Can't put a price on that.
Well, so you got safes for every price point is the bottom line,
right?
And
every customization.
Run down to Gun Range San Diego. Talk to Jason. Anybody there, 10 to 10, and he'll get you fired up on that safe deal. And I just can't be more excited. But
definitely,
truth be told, I just got back from that 3-week trip overseas, and we got back Thursday night, and I
couldn't wait to go see it.
I opened the safe yesterday. I mean, just because being busy and whatever, and I was so happy. It's beautiful, and it's got interior light. Works on a battery and stuff like that.
Really?
It's just a gorgeous deal. So anyway, thanks again for all your efforts on that.
Well,
and changing gears on you real quick then. Any specials going on? You got some bullet special, ammo? What's going on?
We do. We got some more 9mm bulk in. It's $209.99 if you like 1,000 rounds of 9mm. We also have, we have tasers. We have tasers now. The $399.99 or $400. Great legally safe way to carry around a weapon, a self-defense weapon, if you think you need it. You don't need a permit, don't need a background check.
Really?
Just grab it, and
Don't
it works
tase
very,
me,
very, very
dude.
well. Don't tase me, bro.
I think that's great. Well, it's about time because I think that's a great defense for anybody, male or female.
It is. Yeah, for those of us who can't get a CCW, it's probably the next best option. Nobody wants to carry a gun around illegally, get in trouble for it.
No.
The taser is a great way to get around that. You get something that's just as effective. It works very well.
What size are those?
So I'd really recommend that.
Are they size like an iPhone or something?
They're about the size of so it looks like a small pistol, small blocky little Glock. So it's about the size of maybe a Glock 26 or 27 with a longer barrel.
Yeah.
Very effective. It comes with a light and a laser. It's very simple to use. You throw a pack in, you throw a cartridge in, you turn the safety off, and a laser and light come on. Anything within 15 feet is going to regret what you
within 15 feet.
Now this is the one that shoots out the barbs, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Actually fires out barbs. It incapacitates the target's nervous system.
Oh, yeah. Well, because
it feels like all of your muscles flexing at the same time against your will. It's actually pretty scary, and knocks the fight out of you.
Jason, what you don't want to be up close and personal to your assailant. You want to be back a ways. Yeah, and then when you shoot him with those. Now, I was told, this is a few years back, I don't know if that's the case, but some of these taser companies, if you fire a taser, and then they will send you a replacement cartridge. I think free of charge.
That's absolutely true.
Really?
It's absolutely true. If you do use one of these and, you're not messing around like some kids on YouTube,
right?
You actually do use this in a real self-defense scenario. You send a copy of the police report to the company, and they will send you another cartridge.
We got to talk to our friends at Firearms Legal Protection. By the way, did you do that spot?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
No, it's okay. But Firearms Legal Protection, because I think, if you fire that thing, you're shooting a barb into somebody. And
in case they start to get froggy on you.
Right. Or, whatever the case may be, the cops show up, then.
Right.
Interesting deal. Okay.
All right. Hey, Jason, thank you very, very much. Appreciate
it, man.
You can get out of the closet now.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for calling in, and thanks again on the help with the Browning.
All right.
Gun Range San Diego, folks. That's where you need to be. It's 10 to 10, 7 days a week, right here on AM 1170. The Answer. Hey, welcome back. You are listening to Gun Sports Radio right here on AM 1170. Hey, do you or any of your family members keep a firearm or a weapon for personal protection? Do you have or are you going to get a CCW? Do you travel out of state and need to know the local firearm laws? Well, if you're involved in an incident, what are your plans to pay bail and expenses and legal fees? Talk to the good folks at Firearms Legal Protection. For less than $10 a month, you'll have a peace of mind knowing a 24-hour hotline and legal representation is waiting for you and your family. That's Firearms Legal Protection at www.firearmslegal.com, firearmslegal.com. All right, gentlemen, start. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, that's way. What's more than enough?
Pretty good.
Happy birthday,
guys.
Bud Ski. Are you at your birthday party? You got your little pointy hat on, and
I don't have the hat on yet, but the cake is downstairs, and everyone's down there. It's a good time.
Oh well,
happy birthday, John.
Yeah, 23 years old. Isn't that amazing?
A little bit off, but
just
close enough.
Hey, what do you expect? So, okay, it's your birthday. It's going to be good news, right?
No, I rarely do I have good news. We're in California, behind enemy lines, so
behind enemy.
In fact, I'm not going to add any more bad news. I'm just going to remind those listening of the bad news to come. Basically, so we're in May now, and that means we only have 2 more months, if you're including May, to meet 2 different new regulations that were put in place. The first one, and the most obvious one, is the assault weapon regulations that were put into effect. June 30th, 2018 is going to be your deadline to either register your bullet button firearms with the California Department of Justice through the CFAR system online, or your other options are to make your firearm compliant by using a new fixed magazine that meets the new definitions under the current laws, or you can go the featureless route where you take away all those really evil, scary parts of your gun, like a pistol grip and a plastic forward vertical grip that makes your gun very deadly. And if you take those off, then they apparently don't care about your gun anymore. So that's your options for compliance, and you just got to make sure you do that before July 1st, 2018. So June 30th, 2018 is your deadline for that. And the big thing is, if you're going to register, if you're planning on registering any of your firearms, do not wait till June 30th, 2018 to do it. If you guys remember, when the Department of Justice came out with the CFAR's website, it crashed for, I think, the first 3 days. Now, everyone's going to wait till the last minute to register. And what do you think is going to happen on June 30th, 2018? The website's going to crash again. And so all those people that waited till the last minute to register their firearms, they're not going to be able to register. That's just my prediction. We'll see how it goes. But just don't be that guy that waits till the last minute.
Well, what happens if you miss?
If you miss the deadline, that's it. You can no longer register your firearm. And if you haven't converted it to the fixed magazine on the new definition or made it featureless by July 1st, that's an illegal assault weapon. and that's a felony.
Can't sell it, can't give it away, can't do anything with it.
You ship it out of state. It's about your only option.
Yeah, so just, every life gets in the way. I know everyone gets really busy, especially if you're not constantly involved in the gun laws in California. It's really easy for it to slip your mind. A lot of people own only 1 or 2 guns. They only go shooting maybe once or twice a year, and they either even haven't heard of these laws in the first place, or if they've heard, they forgot about the deadlines. They don't know when the deadlines are. So June 30th, 2018, that's the big one for assault weapons, and it's going to affect a lot of people. So just set aside some time and determine what option you're going to go with and do it before that time.
A buddy of mine is an attorney, deals with contracts, and he is in the middle of trying to register at least one of his firearms as a registered assault weapon, and he is having a heck of a time. They keep coming back to him and saying, no, you got to dot this I, you got to cross this T, we need a different picture. You probably don't know the answer to this, but if you could speculate, do you just have to get the paperwork in by June 30th? Or
yeah, so it is just speculation, but as far as you at least submit the application, the fact, because, Michael, what you're bringing up is something that I've heard a lot about, is you'll submit your application and maybe you put the wrong caliber description, or you didn't take a good enough picture and they want a more clear photograph. So a lot of times you'll get an email or even a phone call from the DOJ, and they'll say, hey, you need to resend this photo or take another photograph showing this part of the firearm, or you need to change this description to make it match. So my assumption is, as long as you get the initial application submitted and paid for before this date, if they come back to you with revisions, you should be okay.
That's cool.
Hey, but we're not really sure, but I'm assuming that's going to be it, because the simple fact is they just want it all in their records. So as long as you've submitted it, the fact that you got to make a couple corrections shouldn't be a big deal. But again, that's another reason why to do it now rather than wait till the last day.
Cool. And then, John, remind me and our listeners, what about if you just have a registered lower? It hasn't been built yet, so what do we do regarding those?
Okay, so if you had a registered lower, the problem being is you needed to have a fully built and completed,
okay.
For lack of a better term, I'm going to say assault weapon under California's laws, even though I don't agree with that term. So if before January 1st, 2017, you needed to have a completed bullet button firearm in your possession in order to be able to register it now. And so if you bought a stripped lower after January 1st, or you had a stripped lower before January 1st, 2017, but then didn't complete it until after January 1st, 2017, you're not going to be able to register that as an assault weapon. So your two options are then to make it compliant using a newly defined fixed magazine, and there's some new products out that meet that definition of fixed magazine that they changed in these laws, or you can build it up to a completely featureless rifle, meaning you do not have a pistol grip, you do not have a collapsible or folding stock, you do not have a flash hider or a vertical forward pistol grip.
So someone that has a strip lower, they have to build it before this deadline, is what you're saying?
Yeah, under the regulations, they state that it had to have been a completed firearm. How the DOJ is going to determine what date someone built something or assembled their parts, I do not know. But abiding by the regulations and the law, it needed to be a completed firearm before January 1st, 2017.
Okay, so if they have just a strip lower and they built a featureless rifle, they don't have to register because it's featureless.
Yes, so if you're going to do the fixed magazine option or the featureless option, you do not need to register as an assault weapon, because under those two compliant configurations, they do not meet the definition of an assault weapon in California.
And I would say that, I know for me personally, because I've got these things, that I'm probably going to go down to Gun Range San Diego and or Trident and say, hey guys, I got these things. Can you put a little wing on it? You've seen those little wing things they have and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be, and to make it featureless if necessary, or figure out what I'm gonna register. This is a big
deal. And my one word of caution is, get the products that don't seem to be pushing the limit. If you look at something, it's a product, and you're like, ooh, that looks kind of, that's on the line, that's a borderline product, I would just go ahead, be cautious, and get something that is compliant, and then you can wait and see, once we get further down the road and these laws are starting to be enforced and we see what's going on, whether or not everything holds up.
So let somebody else be the test case. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much, yes.
What are you, an attorney? Oh, yeah, that's right.
See, I like that old adage, when in doubt, don't.
Yeah, that's a great, so like I said, if you see it and you're like, that looks really off, I don't think, how does that work? It's probably because there's a problem.
And the crazy thing is that gun people are for the most part, are so compliant anyway, about rules and all this other stuff. And of course, now they want to put in more rules, right?
Oh, the worst thing is there are so many gun owners in this state that want to know, okay, how do I make this legal? How do I comply with the law perfectly? No messing around. I just want to know how to make it legal. But this is a great example. DOJ, you can call them all day, all night, email them. I can send them letters, everything. They will not tell you what products are compliant, what products are not compliant. They will not give you an answer. They will not give you suggestions on how to make your gun legal. So they really put people in a hard position because they say, if you mess up, you're going to get a felony, but we're not going to tell you how to do it right.
Well, you and I learned that firsthand, John, a couple of years ago when I spoke with Alan Thorsden from Thorsden Stock, and he showed us the letter that DOJ sent him saying, hey, we're not going to make the determination. It's up to each of the 58 district attorneys. So, John, you and I actually sat down with San Diego's district attorney and said, hey, here are the options. It's really, really difficult. The DOJ is truly setting us up to fail, and they don't seem to care.
Don't they work for us?
Not if you ask them.
Oh, I forgot.
No, not at all.
Right.
And so it truly is. It literally is up to the individual prosecuting attorney that gets your case, whether they're going to go after certain products and try to argue whether or not they're compliant. And we have no guidance from the DOJ. DOJ is still 6-8 months behind on most of the regulations for all the other laws that they've passed. I mean, they had to extend this registration period because they're so far behind.
All right, go put your pointy hat on, blow the candles out,
baby,
and have a wonderful, wonderful birthday, my friend.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, folks. Hey, well, that was it. Another rip-roaring hour on Gun Sports Radio.
We killed it.
Don't forget to support San Diego County gun owners. Without their help, you're going to lose your Second Amendment rights. And remember, we help out and I can't think of the word, endorse.
There you go.
All kinds of great politicians. You can find out about San Diego County gun owners because voting is coming up. And get out there and vote, vote, vote. All right, folks, we're out of here. Thank you very much. Don't forget to check us on web, gunsportsradio.com.
That's it.
Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network.